In this week's episode of Pass the PE Exam, I'm talking with Kieran Fulton. Kieran is the president and CEO at CS Davidson. She is an engineer who has become licensed and has become the CEO of her company. And in this video, she's going to talk about why it is absolutely critical to become licensed and all of the many benefits that licensure can give you. And I think this is important because a lot of times we think that there is maybe one big benefit or two benefits of becoming licensed, but there are countless benefits. And I hope that some of her comments can provide inspiration to you to take this very important step in your career. Today's video is sponsored by PPI, a leader in engineering exam prep for the FE and PE exams since 1975.
PPI provides expert prep courses and study resources designed to help you pass the PE exam the first time. PPI's live online courses include hours of lectures, problem-solving demonstrations, exam strategy sessions, office hours, and a passing guarantee. When you take a live online course, PPI guarantees you will pass, or you can take the on-demand course for free. With study guides, practice exams, and more, the PPI Learning Hub offers digital practice and review that you can take with you anywhere you have a device so that you can prepare during the times most convenient for you. Check out PPI today at ppi2pass.com to see all the options available for PE exam prep. Let's dive in.
So Kieran, thanks for taking a few minutes with us here on Pass the PE Exam. You are president and CEO of CS Davidson, and you are a licensed professional engineer. And one of the things we try to do at EMI is we're huge proponents of engineers going after their license. I mean, it's a really huge booster in one's career. Can you talk a little bit about, you've gotten to CEO level, so it's a very high level, obviously, in your career. Talk about how your license, your PE license, has played a role in your development as an engineer and as a leader.
Sure. Well, achieving your PE is a huge turning point in your career, incredibly important, and it brings a certain level of authority, right? You're it, right? You have done all that you need to do in order to become a licensed professional, and I think it brings a lot of clout and legitimacy to the position of engineer. So it certainly helps you, when people hear that you're a PE, they go, okay, I'm talking to the expert here. And I think that certainly makes a huge difference. There's a certain level of respect that comes with that. And I think that that's really important in our career field.
Yeah, it's like instant credibility when you have those letters after your name, PE.
Absolutely.
And I think also something to think about for those of you out there, and I'm sure if you're watching this, you're on the path to licensure, which is great. Maybe you're preparing for the exam, which I know can also be very challenging, and it requires a lot of intense focus and desire, quite frankly, because you probably have a job at the same time that you're doing this, which is taking up a lot of your time. But I know the one thing for me when I worked at a consulting firm and we were interviewing people or evaluating people within the organization, even if someone had the EIT, right, they passed their FE exam, to me, that tells me a lot about someone. Right? They're on the path to licensure. They're investing in themselves. They're investing in their careers. What would you say in terms of, the payoff for someone? Because it is hours and hours of studying. It is a lot of work to do it. You have to maintain your license. But in terms of when you invest in something in your career, you do want to have a return on it. I would imagine that when you evaluate team members, when you look at your young leaders, that's a big part of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's be frank. You get your PE, it's going to put you on a different trajectory in terms of pay opportunities, compensation opportunities. Depending on your workplace, it might put you in line for a different bonus structure. So compensation is obviously huge. It also, you already mentioned that it brings this credibility and legitimacy to what it is you're doing. It also makes you incredibly marketable. So, and I hope that you're all with a great firm and you want to stay there and work there for a long, long time. But, wow, you put those initials behind your name and you're all of a sudden incredibly marketable to other firms as well. So it opens up career paths that you can't even imagine. And I couldn't be the CEO of CS Davidson if I didn't have PE behind my name. That's the bottom line. If I'm going to manage and lead a professional engineering organization, I better darn be one as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, so basically tons of benefits there. And the other thing too, that I'll just say about it is that, I think there's a lot of benefits to being in a profession that has a license, right? Because that just means that there's a smaller pool of people that are going to get that license, right? Because look at what it takes to get the license. The FE exam, working under a PE for 3 or 4 years, depending on where you live or where you practice, passing another roughly 8-hour exam, right? And then maintaining that license. So to me, if you get that license, you're going to be that's a differentiator for you in your career, because there will be a lot of people in the United States and beyond that graduate with an engineering degree that won't get the license for whatever reason. They didn't think it was important. They didn't want to take the time to study or invest in that time. So it's a huge differentiator for you. It's going to help you to be a leader in a firm. And the one thing too that I'll just say is that there are also obviously legal ramifications. You can't sign and seal drawings unless you're a licensed professional engineer. So it's not even like I'm saying, hey, someone's going to look down on you because you don't have your license. You literally won't be able to do certain things in your career without that license, which is important. And the last thing that I'll say about it is, because I've heard this from civil engineers, well, I'm getting into construction. I don't really need my license. People told me I don't need my license in construction, right? Number one, I think that's false. But number two, you don't know if you're going to do construction forever. Like,
right.
Right? It's like, if you bypass the FE exam or you pass the FE exam and now you're prepping for your PE exam, it's too much work, I don't need it. Who knows if in 5-10 years from now, you're still going to be in that same field where you think you don't need it. And who knows if in 20-30 years from now, you're going to want to go out on your own and do some consulting or do some other things, and you don't have the ability to do that. So I think you want that flexibility, Kieran, I would imagine, in your career.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Yes. I think especially for the younger folks out there, why wouldn't you keep every possible avenue open to yourself in the future? You just never know where life's going to take you. So I couldn't agree with more. Yeah, you want to definitely set yourself up for future long-term success.
Well, Kieran, thank you so much for spending some time with us here on Pass the PE Exam. I think you've really helped me to solidify and get the message across to engineers that you're putting a lot of work in. We know that you have a job. You're probably studying late at night, early in the morning, whatever the case may be. But this is something that if you pass this exam and you have this license, it will pay for itself time and time again over the next 20, 30, 40, however many years you're working as an engineer. So Kieran, thank you so much for the time today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Kieran. She's a leader in the industry, and I think she definitely made it clear how important it is to get this license. So if you're struggling a bit, you're tired from studying, just know that if you can push through it, if you can get this engineering license and maintain it for your career, it'll be probably the best thing that you ever did as an engineer. Please consider subscribing to our channel here. We do put out videos like this on a weekly basis. And if you have questions about the PE exam or thoughts that you want to share with others, please leave them in the comments below this video. I will read every question and we will respond to them, whether it's through a comment or through a future video on Pass the PE Exam. And I'll see you next week on Pass the PE Exam.